Yeah, I mean, it's an option that, we went through this path last year, and as always, Herbie, it's more beneficial for us to get something done long term, and that's why this season is so important for us, and really this is the start. I mean, we'll have a lot of dialogue. As you know, I mean, the Combine's great to come in here and check out the new college talent, but a lot of the time here we're spent talking with the agents of our players. So start exchanging information now. Unlike last year, I think we have at least a runway to work with, and we've gotten to know his team a little bit better. So we're excited to get that process started here, and hopefully we can get something figured out.
And you mentioned that this last year you didn't have it. How beneficial do you think?
Yeah. I mean, it's a big deal because I don't think we started that until really late in the process, and time became a factor there. So I think that's certainly gonna help facilitate things, and we'll just go to work right away and see what we can get done. Yeah, I think the unique thing about Patrick is he can really play any style of football, and we've seen it throughout his career. I mean, he can play the up-tempo running gun stuff, but I think last year was a good kind of turning point for our team, and we saw a lot of different coverages, and teams forced us to play patient. But I think when we looked at that trade last year, I think in our mindset we knew you're not going to find another Tyreek Hill, so let's just go out there and get good football players. And the cool thing and the advantage that we had is that Pat can play any style of football, so he can work with the bigger receivers and play more of a tempoed game and just play the small game if we have to. So I don't think we ever thought we're going to go out there and find another Tyreek Hill. Certainly speed and athleticism, versatility will always be at the top of our list, but really we just want to collect good football players. I don't think the age one, as far as Tyreek Hill, I mean, that speed, I mean, any team is going to want that. I think it's probably more imperative depending on the quarterback. I mean, like I said, the cool thing about having Pat Mahomes is certainly if you get him a Tyreek Hill, it makes your team more dangerous. But I think Pat showed yesterday that, or not yesterday, but last year, that he can, work with a variety of skill sets and be effective.
Why do you think you guys...
But yeah, I mean, the Senior Bowl is certainly a very high priority list for us in regards to how we come about our process. And Jim Nagy, I mean, he's worked in the league for a long time. He knows what we're looking for, and he does a great job of reaching out to GMs, reaching out to scouting directors to make sure that game is run the way it needs to be. And I think if you just look at our roster, Creed Humphrey, Trey Smith, Noah Gray, Kadarius Toney, the two corners last year, I think if you just look at our roster, I think it kind of tells the story of how important the Senior Bowl is for us.
Why do you think you guys have had so much consistent success in the AFC West? And what do you think about Sean Payton coming?
Well, I mean, it's funny because, Denver started to turn the corner there right at the end of the season and played some really good football. And now with Coach Payton, I mean, they'll be even more dangerous. And I think Russell kind of got into a groove late. Our division is really tough, and I think that was one of the things that really helped us in our playoff run. I think playing the Chargers twice a year and the Raiders, and the Broncos got off to a little bit of a slow start, but I think they played good football late. And certainly Coach Payton only adds to the degree of difficulty of having to get through that. So that'll certainly be a challenge. What was the second part of your question? Oh, okay. Yep.
Keep him and just add on a little more money to save a lot anyway? Or do you feel like at this point you need the cap space with Brown maybe being tagged, so on and so on?
Yeah, I mean, we'll probably to a certain extent need some cap space, but we have a long history with him and his agent too, so he'll be one of the many conversations we have this week, and look forward to getting with him and seeing if we can work something out that makes sense for both parties.
You hear all the time, people say as soon as you pay a franchise quarterback, it's very diverse to then have long-term success financially. You were talking about the talent. So what has been the key for you in that regard since getting Patrick the quarterback? And is that a fair statement that you hear?
Yeah, I mean, it's extremely difficult. I think you just got to be buttoned up on your free agency plan. I don't think you can go in there and have, a set of A, B, C, D. I mean, you have to just, have a plan, stick to it, and knock it out of the park. And if the plan doesn't work, you got to move on quickly. And I just think the level of communication that we have with our coaching staff, because I mean, you do obviously have to hit on the draft, and you know, when you have the rapport that we have with my staff and our coaching staff, I think it helps in that process, because you know the scheme and the vision and the fit, I mean, we're all on the same page, and I just think the fact that Coach and I have worked together for so long, and even Coach Spags and I have been together for a long time now, I think that continuity is something that has really helped us transition to that second part of Pat's contract, where it is difficult. But I think you guys saw last year that, you know, all the rookies that we drafted, I mean, were major contributors. So I think it's very difficult to do, but I think the continuity plays a huge role in our success. Yeah, I mean, it's a huge advantage for us, just because I think we know what our offseason looks like for the, you know, by and large. I mean, it's always going to change, and I mean, look, the cap's going to go up now, and hopefully now we have had some successful off seasons and everything's back to normal, knock on wood. Things will continue to get better and better and better, but you know, the big part, or the big piece of that puzzle, is something that we have, you know, a degree of certainty, and things will have to get changed and adjusted as we go there as well. But just knowing that Pat will be here for a long time, and knowing that's, you know, the biggest part of that pie is accounted for, just helps us, you know, focus our attention on the offense and defensive side, and not have to worry about the most important piece.
Couple more guys.
When it comes to the draft philosophy, it's always
Yeah, I mean, we always try to stick to best available. It's probably a cookie cutter line all GMs use, and it does become difficult sometimes when you have certain position groups that are, you know, really deep, because you do think, you know, maybe he's a little higher in value, but there's depth in that position, so maybe you can get something similar. So it's just working the board and really trusting your guys at the end of the day. You know, handicapping teams and their needs is a big part of that, and that's where our pro department comes into play in this college process, just kind of projecting what other teams will do. But I mean, yeah, you always try to stick to just the best player, because it is a game of attrition. So you can sit there and think that you're deep at a position. I remember a few years ago we thought we were really deep at defensive line, and within the first 3 or 4 weeks we lost 3 of them. So you always want to make sure you take the best player.